I think to truly be free, like we have to let go of this capitalistic approach to things in Black culture, and then also the religion thing. It just has a chokehold on us. And I think the last like little like stance to get the freedom is like going to have to be to divest from those two things. Because like I get why like Black culture is very capitalistic when you've been withheld from capital for
Of
so
course.
long,
Well,
and
and
then
it's illusion of power and,
yeah,
yeah.
you finally get like I mean to be real, like Black people have been free since like the 70s. Like
Like,
if we really
and
be
the and
really
the and the and the
but we've been
definition
here
of free is very loose,
exactly, but
amorphous.
we've been here since the 1600s though. So how does that even add up? So it's just like we've had rights since the 1970s. That's not a long time, and so economic freedom has been seen as this thing that was gonna like free us and everything. But it's like
100%. No, I
so
mean, and this has come up in I've had little debates with, I've bravely had some Cuban debates with my Miami Cuban
yeah,
uncles and whatnot.
yeah.
And it just, they all keep coming back to this idea of freedom and how depressing their idea of freedom is, because it's just so clear to me that Miami Cubans have been like sold an idea of a proximity to whiteness that they can hold in South Florida if they never leave and they just stay in among that group and like accrue power through money. But like literally it's like I sometimes I feel like I'm in a meme. It is really, but it's eye opening. It's like it's been good for me to have an understanding more and more that like, okay, yeah, you guys really equate job and money to freedom, even though obviously that's not true. Like, we really got to deconstruct this capitalism thing for some people.
Right. And it's hard to tell people of color that economic freedom isn't real freedom.
Right.
But it's like if you really look at white people not free.
Well, and this is why I've been trying to say, because it's like I go back at like both things need to be happening at the same time. Where I think that obviously racism is like, people are really trying to push it aside. They're like, they keep trying to say that there's a new, more extreme problem to deal with, not realizing that it's all because of the first problem of the white supremacy and the racism and the
Yeah,
fact that y'all keep fucking pushing it aside. So I'm
yeah.
like, this needs to be dealt with first and foremost at the same time as white people devaluing money. And like white people also, people with the money need to start acting like and really breaking down that this shit means nothing and
Because
redistributing it as
yeah,
so.
'cause that I mean that's the thing that a lot of black and brown people have a problem with like white leftists that is just like it's like completely jumping over the whole racism thing to be like it's class, we got to stop this. And it's like okay, cool. Let's say one day, let's say tomorrow we it's some revolution, we all don't pay rent, we don't go to our jobs anymore, we don't do all this, we get the economic whatever,
Mm-hmm.
billionaires are like fine, we'll all be on the same playing field, we could do it. Then but it's just like if you racist, then it's just still gonna cause all these
You're still gonna be racist. Yeah.
but it's like I don't know, white people just have this very much a thing of like I was laughing about it this morning because I've always wanted to write a joke about it. I got to figure out, but like white people's problem is they all think they're the one white person that's not the problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 100. It's that. It's like it's an expansion of the bystander effect. Like, I think about the bystander effect all the time, and that I just feel like everyone's doing, like, we're in a world of it, where everyone's just kind of like, someone will deal, not me. Someone
Yeah.
will deal, not me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, if we're all doing that, bro, that is how people die,
No,
literally.
straight up. And so it's just like, um, if people aren't gonna accept the fact that this sin of racism has not been healed and all these things that don't need to get fixed, then it's just like us all getting money one day or all like being economically free or whatever is
Yeah.
not gonna stop racial violence, racial tension, all this type of shit.
At all.
So it's one of those racism is like this thing that needs to really be um dealt with. And it was just like it felt like summer 2020 was gonna be that time, but then shit gets co-opted, and so
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like America has never really had to reckon with why we're here because people don't want to talk about why we're here or how we got here.
Right.
Uh, and yeah, so it's but so to go from like we're not gonna talk about how we got here, but hey, but this we gotta change where we're at right now. This is really bad. It's just kind of like you're like a victim of like the moment.
It's a
At the,
fool's errand, and it's also it's like I think that we need to really think about it as like collective intergenerational trauma.
yeah,
Like treat it like what it is, which is a series of relationships that have been so fraught by this thing, this trauma. Treat it like fucking therapy. Like, and therapy is hard. You cry. It's, if you're doing therapy, right? Like you are feeling stuff. You are, like there needs to be a like big fucking processing in a real way, in a structure. And this is where I'm like, I mean, it just all comes back to abolish the police for me, honestly. I'm like, I was thinking about it earlier. I'm gonna do, frankly, because I guess I'm doing reels now. I'm gonna do a reel about it. Um,
Instagram star.
we gotta, I guess, do fucking reels. Jesus. Though I will say on the patriarchy tip, it's like to be a woman online these days, while they hate you, they fucking hate you. They want you to remember you're a dumb bitch. You're dumb. You're dumb. The stuff you're talking about, you don't even know anything about. Stupid hoe. That's kind of how they are. But I'll still do reels in spite of it. But no, I mean, I was thinking it was like the 6-year anniversary of Breonna Taylor. Like Breonna Taylor really, I mean, it's like, and thinking about her makes me nuts, like because then it's just the fact that there are so many, like, and that is obviously the point, and especially after the Renee Good of it all, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah. Where
the
was the
thing is,
all
there's
lives
no
matter?
accountability for the police besides abolishing them. So sorry, that's it.
Yeah, because I mean it's crazy. You talk about the police, and I'm in my hometown, so I don't
Yeah,
know if you've ever heard of the Rankin County Goon Squad.
no, tell me.
So this was a thing a few years ago. They got national attention from the county that I live in. But basically it was like a group of police that had like a group chat and they would award each other points for like terrorizing people. And I'm gonna spare you the details if you ever want to go look it up and see the
Yeah.
nasty, awful things they were doing to people, you can. But a dude I went to high school with was a part of it. But it's just crazy that basically it was white police officers and so they targeted black people, especially, and then they also targeted poor white people that already had like either drug arrest on their record already.
Yeah.
Basically, they were targeting people that like basically, for lack of better words, is like no one's gonna give a fuck about you. And so a lot of times they would try to get false confessions and things like that when they were abusing these people. And so the reason they got caught is because what they would do is to intimidate people, they would just put a gun in your mouth. And this black dude, basically, they were trying to get him to make a false confession, and he's trying to tell them, "I don't know anything." These police officers are idiots, and so I guess whoever did it forgot the safety on the gun, shot him. And so they all start like screaming, and they run out because they're like, "Oh shit, we killed a guy! Like, get out of here!" And it's just like he survived.
Oh,
He survived and was able to tell his story, and
oh my
that's how
God.
they all got caught, and they got the investigation going and stuff like that, and they found the group chats and the text messages, and so the trial's been going on for like the last couple of years and stuff. I have a friend that's a lawyer that worked on it and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's just this dude wrote this really cool like Medium article about it. He's not from Mississippi, but he had just learned about the story and was talking about it and was like people here in Mississippi are like, yeah, that was gross. Stop that. Like, let's
Mhm.
punish these men. And when these moments come out, like the Derek Chauvin that killed George Floyd and
Mhm.
all this type of stuff, what white America does is they treat these things like they're like the isolated incident. Like, this is not policing and this isn't how you're supposed to do it.
This is not representative of what this is
So
supposed to be.
right. So we'll make an example out of these people, but then we don't change policing at all.
At all.
And so they really think that it's just like that person's just a bad person and not that that's police. And it's because they have this warped sense of reality with police. But I'll ask white people all the time. I'll be like, yo, when was the last time a police officer did something to help you?
Right.
They can't tell you anything. And I go,
Exactly.
you think that shit because you see police do stuff on TV and
Exactly.
TV shows and shit growing up.
We come back to abolish the cop show every time. We
Yeah,
got to talk about it every episode, and I will.
the propaganda shit has to stop. And
It's
it's just like
everything.
you think the police protect you because your favorite actors played a police officer.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy played a cop. You know,
Yeah.
Martin played a cop. Mel Gibson played a cop. Like it's just like
Mark
all
Ruffalo played a bird watching cop.
yeah.
Hate to
And
see
so
it.
like all these your favorite actors and actresses play cops growing up, and so you don't associate bad things with police. And so when they do awful things to people, and you're like, well, that's not how police are, and we're trying to tell you, yeah, they are. That's why I always ask, like, when has a police officer ever done something good for you or actually helped you? Like at the very least, a cop just like didn't kill you. Like that's the bar
Right.
or like or they were just not helpful at all, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so yeah, most people can't really tell you when a police officer is done, like when a police officer actually has done something, like the the most dire of needs, or like they like you had to do something. Like I saw the other day, like in New York the other day, it was a girl that was gonna like jump off a building or whatever, and so like the police put out the
The thing, the
the tarp thing to catch
yeah,
her.
the net thing.
It's like, yeah, they had to do that. If
I
they didn't
know.
do it, you're gonna be looking at them like, yo, what the
What
fuck?
the
So like,
hell?
and
Yeah.
you think of like that school in Texas where there's a school shooter inside of it, and the police just stood outside because they didn't want to go in. But if they had said, hey, it's a Muslim dude in there with a gun, kid, and he's about to blow the thing up, like they're gonna run in there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy that they didn't do this job that we say they're heroes to do, and
Yeah.
that parents of the children had to go run in there and try to do something about it. And they were stopping parents from going in there because they wouldn't go in there. And so, police are, ultimately useless. They
I
just
just saw a
protect.
thing yesterday about a man who was shot and a black man who was shot by the police in whatever pursuit. And then apparently one of the police officers had a mild panic attack. They put that police officer in an ambulance, the first ambulance that came. They put that police officer in the ambulance. So by the time that the ambulance came back to get the guy who was shot, it had been 25 minutes. He got to the hospital 15 minutes after the cop, and he died. And he
Yeah,
died. Like, and he was bleeding. Like,
that's
and this
crazy.
is why I say it's like you cannot reform this. You cannot reform this. You cannot reform this.
And it's
Okay?
And it's like we've talked about it before of like
Yeah.
that's why so many people had this like reaction to ICE, and it's because you weren't propagandized to hate ICE. In fact,
Yeah.
it's a new thing. And that was because like organizers, I saw what they were doing, like the way they framed it was like these dudes are not qualified to be doing what they're doing. And so
And
like
it's
that's
like, I saw someone say, like, you want them to get like trained to shoot? Like, you want them to get like better aim? Like, well, that's what better training will be. What the fuck?
exactly. And so like everybody's just like fuck ICE and everything because you don't have a childhood of like being told
Yeah.
that they're good for you because they didn't
Yeah.
exist or whatever.
Right.
So it's just like, man, like if we didn't have propaganda, imagine what people's reaction, because I feel like a lot of people want to like have a reaction to the police, but then it's just like this thing holding them back of like, but no, like I bet some of them are good. And it's just like, but that's the thing. It's like even if some of them were good, a system at hand that just lets people ride around cities with guns
Right.
with impunity is just not a good system.
And that's what ACAB is. That's what the whole concept of that is that it's not about the individual cop. It's about the, if you are the cop, you are upholding that the structure. Anything that's making the structure happen is the thing, you
If
know?
if I worked at a restaurant that was known for every day they pick two people to get food poisoning. But I don't ever give anybody
Do
food
it.
poisoning. I
Yeah.
just go do my job, clock in, serve the food, go home. But I know two niggas gonna get food poisoning today because that's just what they do. And there's three guys that work there that's their favorite part of the job is giving niggas food poisoning. I'm just as bad as them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just as bad as them
It's
because I
really
know I
true.
know it's happening. And there might be a day where I'm just like, you know what? I think it'd be fun to spit in somebody's food today. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm feeling a little silly. I'm gonna do it.
You see
But
it all
and
the
I'm able to
time.
do it.
You see how
I'm able
normal
to
it is.
see how normal it is, and I'm able to do it because the system we have in place at this restaurant is we get to poison two people every day. So it's like, hey, let me have a shot at it. This one time. Let me. So it's and I know I'm protected when I do it because it's been set up. This is how you. This is the thing that we do, and
Yeah.
so it's just like if you uphold the system, if you're a part of it and you see it, because it's just like you know what's going on. It's just like it's the fact that we know that there's gangs within the police and that tattoos resemble like what gang they're like all this type of
Yeah.
shit. And so like I feel like in my hometown, especially, it's I'm in Mississippi, it's conservative. Even the people who are moderates or Democrats are low key
Right.
conservative out here. And so when that happened, it was just like this whole like, what? They were doing that to people? And it's like, yeah, bro, that's what they do.